During all this civil unrest that we've been having throughout the country, I felt that it was very, very necessary to put some key components and some guides out to help our kids, because with this on how to handle police when they've been pulled over by the police.
Right.
But my main goal today is to try to help your child, my grandson, the boys and girls of today to go home safe. First and foremost, always be polite, no matter what's happening, no matter what the officer's saying, just be polite. Your upbringing is important. Yes, sir, no, sir, be polite. If you're an adult, yes or no.
Even if you don't want to.
Right, yeah, because you want to make this thing as easy as possible.
Because you want to go home.
You want to go home. So, and the officer,
And the officer want to go home.
you bring controversy, you get controversy. You want to be as simple as possible. And it's not easy. I tell everybody it's not easy for the officer or the citizens, because they don't want to go to jail. I get that. First of all, you're supposed to have probable cause for the stop. When I was working, you didn't have to have a probable cause. But most police officers may pull you over for whether it's a stop sign or your seat belt or whatever the probable cause is. To be safe, today, keep your hands on your wheel. Keep both your hands on your steering wheel. Allow the officer to walk up to your car. When you get to your car, keep your hands on your wheel. Allow him to ask you for your driver's license and your ID. It's not time to ask the officer, why did you pull me over? The officer's job is to identify who you are first. Once he's identified you by who you are, and normally he would ask you for your driver's license and your insurance. At that time, you tell him that if it's in your glove box or it's in wherever it's located, he then will give you the command to go into your glove box and where to get your driver's license and your insurance. At that time, once he has identified who you are, at that time you have the authority to ask him, officer, what did I do? What was the reason I was pulled over? You have that authority to do that. If that's what you don't know, if you want to ask a question at that point. You also have the law in Illinois, just talking about the law, and you can look it up. It's on the website. If you choose to record the officer traffic stop, they got an app on the phones now, on these new phones, and you just hit the button. As the officer comes to your car, hit the button, lay your phone on the dash, and it'll record the whole entire conversation. He cannot take your phone. He cannot say anything because your phone is recording you, and you can record, and you can use that in court if it's an argumentation or whatever. So those are just some small tools that you can use now that we didn't have back then. Prior to this what we got going on right now, the civil unrest, there was a mass of officers getting killed in the line of duty. People jumping out of the car with guns and stuff like that. You don't never know who has a gun in the car. So if you jump out of the car, his safety is at risk at this time. He don't know if you got a gun, right? The new laws across the country now, you got concealed to carry, right? We don't know if you do have concealed to carry. We're not saying you're pulling the gun, but we don't know. Your safety is important. You may not, you don't have no intention of pulling no gun because you got concealed to carry, but you have a gun. So what you've done, you brought that threat up. It's now a threat. That's not time to argue. You argue in court. You got a case in court. You're innocent to proven guilty.
And you want to make it to court.
You want to make it to court. You don't want to be a statistic. It's so easy to comply and not argue because they got there's a call instructing. The officer's trying to get his point across. They're trying to write the ticket. If you can disagree or agree. But at that point, hey, I want to see you in court. If you got people in the car with you, those are your witnesses. Not only that, you got your cell phone that says everything that he said to you or she said to you during the course of that traffic stop that you can use in the court now. So you don't have to argue no more. You don't have to have court on the scene anymore. I mean, we have to start teaching our kids on how to better hold themselves, on the traffic stop, so you won't get hurt. A lot of people don't know this, but in Illinois, your driver license holds a $5,000 bond. So if you write a ticket, we write a ticket on your driver's license, normally we take your driver's license. We used to take your driver's license.
Right.
And so then you write on the ticket, right?
I was happy that they stopped taking them.
So, but when they stop taking when they take your driver's license, right, and you get another ticket on the ticket, you can't write a ticket on the ticket. So now guess what? You automatically go to jail. So they stopped that because the court was getting an influx of traffic and you're losing your driver's license, and so it got to be convoluted. So they stopped doing that. If you don't take the ticket and you don't sign the ticket, guess what happens? You don't go to court, right? The ticket going through. The ticket's already, whether you sign it or not, we put refuse to sign the ticket, right? On the top of the ticket, you put X's on the top of the ticket. The X's on top of the ticket tells the judge that this cat refuses to sign the ticket or refuse to comply to the officer's request. The judge sees that. So then you don't have to even appear in court. Then guess what just happened? Now you got a warrant for your arrest. So now you didn't sign the ticket because you didn't look at the ticket. You mad at the officer because, and so 6-7 weeks later, you get pulled over and you got a warrant for your arrest. And then you go like, well, I got a warrant. Well, you didn't sign the ticket. You didn't take the paperwork. You didn't get the court date. So now you got, and that's why you see so many people trying to run to get to court because they got warrants, traffic warrants, because they ignored the ticket or they got different addresses or whatever the case may be. You can't run from it. Again, we will be doing more information in reference to these tips, in reference to tips being safe. We're going to be doing some reenactment here at the Sunshine Cultural Arts Center. There's more to come. So I'm looking forward to talking to you again.